A client of mine called me this week and he was asking me for the phone number of my chief web developer. He had a $1,500 website that he needed to build, simple landing page, and I told him to fire the idea of hiring a developer. By the end of our call, I had literally built a website for him and it took 4 minutes. By the time that he was finished telling me about his client, I had already built a website for him. So here's what I want to tell you today. The doing is dead. The doing is dead. And if you're still charging for it, you are about to get squashed. I'm Alex and I help web consultants stop selling deliverables and start selling their thinking. And the call that I just told you about is the perfect example that I've ever seen of where this industry is going. So let me walk you through it. My client has a new customer. Her name's Maria, and Maria is a life organizer. She helps women reorganize their homes and their lives all at the same time. She's a sociologist. She's from Colombia. She does sacred deep work. And my client sat with her. He asked her questions and pulled out her story. And the story he was able to pull out was this. Before Maria, this woman was parking on the side of the road with trash bags next to her car. Her marriage was a mess. Her business was stuck. She was just going through the motions. 6 months with Maria, and that woman is now renting out her salon. She dresses up for networking events. Her marriage is now a marriage again. That is the story. That is the product. This is what a $1,500 landing page is actually selling. So here's what my client wanted to do. He wanted to take the story, that transformation, that deep sacred thing that he extracted from Maria, and he wanted to hand it over to a developer on Fiverr for 500 bucks. He was going to shrink down his own margin. He was going to wait then 2 weeks. He was going to literally let someone who has never met Maria decide how her story gets told on a website. Why? Because he still thinks the website is the product, and it's not. The website is a party favor. Now, say it with me. The website is a party favor. Now watch me build it. Just for the record, I'm not going to be teaching you the tools right now. I just want to quickly go over 3 tools that you can use right now. I am not romantic by any of them. I just want you to see where the industry is going and how the doing is collapsed. All right, so here's the prompt that I used to build a landing page. And I'm going to show you this prompt in 3 different tools. You've probably heard the tools. My intention here is not to teach you the tool or try to sell you the tool. As a matter of fact, I'm not romantic about any of these tools. What I am romantic about is working less and earning more. Being able to sell my expertise and not my hands, not my labor, not my doing. So I grabbed this and I put it, the first tool I want to show you guys is Claude. I didn't even use Claude Code. I just put it on regular good old chat Claude, and this is what it came up with. Now, for those designers that are super romantic about your craft, can you do a better job? I'm sure you can. But remember, if you want, you're only as good as your prompt, right? So you can grab the story from your client, you can grab the way you build websites and have this massive prompt that will allow you to create exactly how you will build a website. The difference is that is faster. And I'll be honest with you, this is pretty dope. Like just little animations on the actual cards. I mean, everything about it is pretty cool. Again, I'm just showing you what's possible. Obviously, I wouldn't just ship this completely right away. I would make sure that the copy is there, that the sections have intention, right? But for literally 4 minutes, this is amazing. If you stick with me to the end of this video, I'm going to show you an example of a buddy of mine who did $210,000 in one day with an AI website that he built in literally 30 minutes. So if you want to look at that, stay tuned, or not, do whatever you want. So next, I want to show you guys Relume. So I'm going to click on number of pages. I'm just going to do one, generate sitemap. And this is another website. Here it is, done. And there's a wireframe, there's a sitemap. All right, so wireframes is complete. So now let me go to style guide. You can upload her logo, you can upload her images, her typography, and here is the design. Reorganize your home, reorganize your life. It can even give you ideas on what type of pictures you can actually create. Like tell your customer to take a picture like this. Just again, guys, what I'm showing you here is the possibilities on how you can do this work in no time instead of being romantic with your craft and just sinking with the Titanic. So that is Relume or Relume, however you say it. And then I'm going to grab and I'm going to do it here on Lovable. And here's what the Lovable website looks like. This is what it looks like to work in 2026 as a web consultant. You get paid for this instead of this. Okay, so check it out. Here is the website. Guys, I mean, even it even added a translation feature. I mean, come on. Seriously, a website completely done in a couple of minutes, and this is pretty awesome. Now, you can be romantic about your craft, or you can use your expertise and probably do a better job at putting this together, but using your thinking and letting the AI do the doing. So there you have it, one prompt, three completely different websites that were built within minutes. Okay, you can now complete this work faster, use your thinking, because remember, you still are the one thinking through this. You have the taste, you have the judgment. For those thinking, but how is this going to replace me? No, you're not. The human's not going to get replaced because your client needs to know that this is a solid layout. Your customer doesn't know that. You know that. You know you should have 3 steps to teaching your visitor how to become a client and make it easy for them to become your client, right? Like, how do we work together? You know that. Your client doesn't know that, right? You extracting that story, you knowing what to ask, right? What we want to do right now is we want to be really good thinkers so that we can convert that thinking into prompts that is going to allow us to create amazing work because the output now is as good as the prompt. Now that took 4 minutes. The last time I saw a developer build that, it took 2 weeks and the cost $1,500. Now I want to be clear about something. I'm not romantic about Claude. I'm not romantic about Lovable. I'm not romantic about Relume or Relume, however you say it. All of these tools work. What I am romantic about is the thinking of get paid for your thinking and not your doing. And people pay right now for wisdom and speed. And what I mean by wisdom is knowing that a tomato is actually a fruit and not put it in a fruit salad. Okay, so you're still going to be around. You're not going to get replaced by these AI tools. However, if you're not adapting the way you're building things with AI, if you're not leveraging, then what's the whole point of having a business? So if the doing is dead, then what do you actually get paid for? Well, you get paid for your thinking. You get paid for the conversation that my client had with Maria. You get paid for the asking the question that pulled the trash bag story out of her. You get paid for knowing the line, your space shapes your soul. You know that belongs to the hero section and it's not going to be buried in the footer. The prompt is only as good as the consulting that fed it. A developer cannot extract Maria's story. A developer has never met Maria. A developer is just the doing and you are the thinking. And if you're a developer watching and you're like, WTF, what do I do, Alex? Well, you want to ascend to a consultant. You want to be able to start selling your thinking because your doing is now a commodity. And that's just the honest truth. So here's the part that nobody's ready for. We are shifting from hours to credits. Hours used to mean something. Hours used to measure how long it took a human to do a thing. So you charge by the hour because the hour was the proxy for the work. However, the hour is dead. The work that used to take 8 hours takes 90 seconds. Should I charge you less because I got it there faster? Should I penalize myself for being efficient? No. Your new currency is credits, and credits measure the quality of your thinking, not the duration of your doing. That is what you're selling now. That is what you should have been selling the whole time. Now, for the sake of clarity, what I mean by credits is if you notice all of these AI tools, they have some sort of credits that you feed it. That's the level of thinking. We're shifting to that level of thinking. Same thing, we're moving from money to crypto. Same. So here's my question for you. What are you still charging by the hour for that a prompt could do in 90 seconds? And more importantly, what are you charging too little for right now today because you do not yet realize that that is the actual value? The consulting call, the offer extraction, the story that you pull out of your client, the strategy session that feeds the prompt, that is the work. It has always been the work. The doing was just the noise on top of it. And the consultants who win from here on out are the fast doers. They're the best thinkers. So stop pricing your time and start pricing your mind. So for those of you that stuck this long, as promised, I'm going to share with you how my boy Roderick did $216,000 in one day with just a simple website that was done with AI and everything that I shared with you earlier. So here's a conversation that we had, and I want to share this with you because there's a lot I want to convey to quantify what is actually possible. So Roderick went ahead and he shared the link to the landing page, which I'm going to show you in just a minute. And Mariana, who is actually a brand expert, she has a business named Brand Magnetic. She wrote, "This looks amazing." I'm sorry, but if there's anybody that I'm going to take feedback from in regards to branding, is going to be Mariana, because Mariana is not looking at it from whether the website looks good or not. She's looking at the messaging. She's looking at the actual landing page as an asset for conversion. So the fact that she said this looks amazing, I already, as soon as the conversation started, I knew I was going to take a screenshot and share it with you guys. So here's what I wrote. I said, clean, web developers have been replaced by what? By wisdom and speed. It's that simple. If you are a developer and you have wisdom, great. But you want to have speed. You don't want to be you don't want to have wisdom and be slow. Also, you don't want to be dumb and have speed, right? There's going to be a lot of dumb people that have the same access to the same tools. But this is dumb people. So if you have a solid brain, this whole AI thing is going to expedite. It's going to be that salt that brings out the flavor, right? Roderick responded, fact. He said, Roderick said it would have taken a month or more, even 6 months ago. Nuts. And 5K to 10K later. Here's what the actual landing page looks like. Clean, the right words, exactly what it is that he does, what he's not, the steps. He has videos in there. His VSL is strong, his case studies. Everything about it is top notch. His testimonials, everything here, his constant call to action, and he nailed it. That is pretty much from me, guys. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you give a thumbs up. Also, make sure to subscribe as I do a weekly video and you will get notified when you do so. And lastly, if you're interested in learning how to sell your thinking and not your doing and make that shift in what I call Generation 3 for web consultants, there is a link of a full training down somewhere in the comments. Make sure you check it out if you want to learn more about what I do and how I can possibly serve you. That's pretty much it from me, guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Create a great day, everyone. Bye.